Welcome to Across the Desk, where we discuss entrepreneurship, small business, and everything in between. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Across the Desk. I am so fortunate today to welcome Christa Pepper, Pepper with a P, to Across the Desk. You can say hello now.
Good morning. How are you today?
So we had a little time zone. We'll kick off with a funny story because we had a bit of a time zone kerfuffle this morning. So the very cool thing about technology today is that I'm so fortunate to connect with people almost around the globe. And in an ironic twist, Christa is joining us from Reno, Nevada. And yes. I just came back from Las Vegas last week. And so you think I would know that Nevada is 3 hours behind instead of 2 hours ahead.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I got the email at like 3:20 in the morning going, no, I'm just not that sociable at 3 in the morning.
I don't think anybody is. I don't think that's something to be required from anybody. So we've had a bit of a Monday today, but we've had a terrific conversation over the past hour, just getting to know each other and learning more about Christa and her amazing business. And in another ironic twist, which we discovered today, 2 months ago, I got given this book. And who knew 2 months ago that I would be interviewing one of the contributing authors? So that was a really cool, weird universe twisty thing.
Right. Some things are just meant to be, right?
Kismet. Kismet is what it is.
I love it.
See, so Christa is the proud owner of Body Positive Personal Training. And it was really interesting to read the chapter that you contributed to the book because it does give a bit of your story and why you're doing what you're doing now. So why don't we leap into a little bit of about you?
Let's see, about me. A few years ago, I switched my life from retail management world to stay-at-home mom. I was pregnant with my 4th child, and it was a fantastic transition. It was great being a stay-at-home mommy, and everybody was happy and whatever. And I was doing this amazing pregnancy journey, and it was a great pregnancy. And then the baby was born. And I started to suffer from some postpartum depression. Mm-hmm. I started to get to that point where my life had shifted and, you know, my husband would walk in the door and I'm like, did you see? Did you see? I cleaned the house. Did you see? Did you see? The toilet is clean. Right. And that was like my celebrations. And it became just so awful for me. And don't get me wrong, being a stay-at-home mom has been the best thing for my family. But as a woman at that transitional space, postpartum depression and all this other stuff, it was awful. I was like, is my value really in how clean the toilet is? Because I fail.
You have a right. You fail on a daily basis.
Right? I was like, this is not where my value is. And so suffering from postpartum depression, being considered obese, thank you very much to our medical terminology, helps that self-esteem out, no problem, right? Mm-hmm. I kind of got to this point where I was going to the doctor. They were like, here's some pills, they'll make you lose weight. The other side effect is they'll make you go crazy and suicidal. And I'm like, oh, this sounds like a great plan. Let's jump in on that.
Always a thumbs up.
Right. I was like, it was just such a mess. And I ended up having to kind of dig into more of what it was that I needed, who I was, what I say is BC, before children. Like who am I as a woman, as a person? What is my gift? Not just a clean toilet and, folded laundry. Those are all big things. Don't get me wrong, but they weren't fulfilling me in the way that I needed to be fulfilled. Right. It's just so weird. I couldn't get to that like Pinterest level mom, like with the color coded, spaghetti that you see. Like that's just cool to me, but not my thing.
I am not stay-at-home mom material. Just so I'm fully on board with this. I'm not a good stay-at-home mommy.
I'm trying, but it wasn't my place. Like it is, but I needed something for me. And while I was struggling to lose the weight, and everything else, I started to kind of really journal and look into what it was that I needed in my life. Because of course the doctor was like, I think you have postpartum depression. Here's these pills that are going to make you want to kill yourself, and you should see a psychologist. And I was like, that's cool. Like, I could totally get on board with that. I could go have an adult conversation for an hour or two every week. Like,
When you
yes.
have a professional to have an adult conversation.
Right.
Just went sideways.
Exactly. And I'm like, but I'm in. Sign me up. And I kind of looked and was like, okay, can I do that? Will you watch my 4 kids so I can make that happen? Because I'm all about it. And he was like, I'm not a fan of your attitude.
Not a fan of your prescription. Looks like we have an impact.
Like, I don't know what you want me to do here. And at that point, it just did. I went back to what it was that used to make me happy. And, I tried all these different techniques to lose the weight, bought everything I possibly could. I'm sure at this point in my life, I could probably own a Bentley with the money that I invested.
I think most women would probably agree.
Exactly, because we want those results. And so at that point, I decided that things had to change, that what I was doing wasn't working. And, BC, before kids, before children, I had actually wanted to become a personal trainer. In my ignorance and youth, I wanted to become a personal trainer on a cruise ship so I could travel.
So when I read that, so funny story. When I read that, I thought, first of all, good for you for being that focused. And second of all, my mom talked me into taking travel and tourism so that I could become a cruise director.
See, I think there's something there. Like, really, as a young adult, if you can make that happen, go make that happen, right? You get to travel, and I don't know how well the pay is, but you get to travel.
I never ended up going, just never happened.
Well, you got some time left, right? we can just shift gears, we could run our businesses.
Would be on board with that career shift at this point in our relationship. So.
Oh, come! Those husbands, they always kind of get there.
Tricky little monkeys.
Right. Yeah. So at that point, I just decided I needed to shift gears. I needed to do something for myself. And at that point, I jumped into going through the certification processes of becoming a certified personal trainer and digging into certifications regarding the behavioral change and the weight loss. Well, that was the thing, is it was always this, I started looking at the products I bought and how I was going about the process. And it was always the same thing. Here's either your nutrition, have a good day. Here's your fitness, have a good day. Or here's your fitness and your nutrition, we'll see you next week. And it was like, that's cool. Like, now what?
Except, there's like 7 days in between where I'm going to binge eat cookies because I'm stressed out and I'm not doing it right.
Because people are banging on the door while you're trying to go to the bathroom. Mom, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, mine are 19 and 18 now, so that has reduced somewhat.
Well, that's good.
But they still, my 19-year-old, I'll be going in the bathroom and he's like, so Mom, I have I've been available for 6 hours. I now have to pee, and now you have a question.
It's so funny.
Really?
It's like they have radar for it, right? Like that in the phone. You're on the phone, and all of a sudden they all need to talk to you.
My response to that has always been, are you on fire? No. Is the house on fire? No. Dog on fire? No. No fire, no blood? No. Then you need to go away.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, speaking of certifications, I've visited your website a few times now, bodypositivepersonaltraining.com. And if you visit the page about Christa holds the following certifications. And I'm going to read the list because it's quite extensive. So from the National Academy of Sports Medicine, Christa is certified as a personal trainer. She's certified as a behavioral change specialist and a weight loss specialist. From the National Exercise and Sports Trainers Association, she is certified as an online coach and a physique and figure training specialist. And from, is it Precision?
Mm-hmm.
Precision Nutrition. She has her level 1 fitness nutrition certification. So you've really gone full bore into getting the most amount of certifications possible, to support your business and support your clients.
Absolutely. It's funny. There's people in our industry that refer to themselves as experts. And I've always struggled with that because I feel as an expert, my expertise is continuing to learn. Yep. Because I want to continue to provide the service to my clients that they deserve. And in order to
Continue
do that,
to evolve.
yeah, absolutely. And there's always new information coming out. And so I continue to just jump into as many of the classes that I can so I can take that back to my clients. Absolutely.
So what did you find? And this is not bashing anything that's existing, because we were talking before, and one of the reasons I started my Women in Entrepreneurship group was I did the research and they just didn't meet my needs. It's not to say that they don't meet other people's needs, and that's amazing. So what did you find was missing that you felt your business could fill that missing gap? So what's the why behind why your business exists?
Well, the why behind my business is my own journey, honestly. And that's where it started. Was when I started my certification process, it wasn't that I was going to go build a business and support other women. It was really what was missing for me, right? Because we're smart women. We know we're supposed to eat our broccoli, right? And our veggies, and we're supposed to drink the water, and you're supposed to go walking. We know this stuff. Like it's there. We know.
Yeah.
But what is it that stops us? Where is that disconnect of I'm committing to this program. I'm going to do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm going to eat this way. And then by Tuesday, you're sitting there in the corner with your thing of ice cream, rocking back and forth. The kids are going to get me or whatever. Right?
Did you ever see The Licorice Mom?
No. Am I going to have to look that one up?
This poor mom had a set of, I want to say, quintuplets. That's
okay.
5, right?
Yeah.
I think it's 5 or 6 under the age of 2. And of course, no matter where she was, they would find her. I only have 2. My kids are 13 months apart. So they're like having a set of twins. You've got 4. She had, I believe, 6.
That's crazy.
And she posted a video, like a Facebook Live video from in the closet, door shut, eating licorice, because she knew if she steps outside the door, all these little hands, right? And within a minute and a half of them, so she goes under the door and you can see her videoing the little feet and what have you. 2 seconds, they figured out where she was. There's little hands coming into the door going, "Mama, Mama, Mama." I'm like, I remember that.
Yes. That is real life, people.
All I want is a little stinking piece of licorice without somebody going, "You can share that with me?"
It's
no,
so
I am
true.
not.
No, leave me alone.
I deserve a piece of licorice, damn it.
Yes.
And not while I'm cleaning the toilet, because that's gross.
Right.
So I hear you. So, I mean, your ability to relate to what so many women struggle with, and a lot of women, there's still a bit of, for lack of better language, shame associated with PTSD. Sorry, not post-traumatic. Oh my goodness me gracious. Postpartum depression. There's still that guilt around, how come I don't have that, immediate rush of love, and how come everybody else can handle having a baby? What's wrong with me? And I had 2 C-sections in 2 years and kept thinking, what is wrong with me? Like, why can't I have a kid normally? Right. And I remember when my son was born, don't get me wrong, would have thrown myself in front of a bus the minute, I had to be put to sleep. But anyway, but I felt so awful because I didn't have that rush of love that everybody describes. I was definitely not having the shiny, glowy experience around the whole delivery situation. There's nothing glowy about an 8-inch incision and tubes in places where tubes shouldn't go.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the weight, I didn't gain a lot, but you gain enough that your body just feels completely alien.
Mm-hmm.
So post-surgery, postpartum, trying to breastfeed. I don't know who thought of that as a good idea, but
yeah,
all of those things, and your poor brain on top of the hormones readjusting, on top of your organs going back into place, which I think we all forget how traumatic pregnancy is. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but your body is taking an assault for 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do the job to deliver this little being into the world. And your experience isn't necessarily what it's supposed to be. It's that word should.
Yes.
We should all over ourselves
Mhm.
because of that. And now we have to live up to society's expectation of the snapback after pregnancy and dealing with all of that junk that happens with that as well. So your ability to relate to that and to have done so much is incredible.
I don't know that it's incredible. It was just, it was just my own process. And it is the postpartum. I think all of us have some postpartum issue that
Yeah.
occurs.
Yeah.
But I don't think society wants to recognize that at this point, right? I mean, for some women, it is completely like you cannot function. For
Mm-hmm.
some of us, we're still functioning, but we're not okay, right?
Yeah.
And
Totally hear you.
but we're women, so we keep going the best that we can, and we know that we are not being the best of who we are, and it's not something we have control over.
Yeah.
And so, it's a process that I think every single woman goes through.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I've had 4 kids, and yes, each one was a different experience, right? Afterwards is always a different experience and whatnot. And, you have to understand, you have to give yourself that grace
I
to
think that's an excellent point. That
you have to.
Yeah, that women struggle with, I think, especially women in business or women in a different role than what society expects. As soon as your experience is outside the norm, whether it is your weight loss journey, whether it is your birth journey, whether it is your business journey, what have you, you get an extra layer of judgment slapped onto you that you're usually not expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And then trying to find somebody who understands that, trying to find, or being willing to talk about it yourself, never mind finding a group or an individual to support you,
Mm-hmm.
just adds another layer of, well, why can't I do it on my own? Hundreds of women have babies every day. Why
Yes.
do I need any extra special damn type A personalities?
Right. I got this on my own. I'll make it work. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. But even regardless of what your personality, I mean, I joke about that because I'm an extreme type A according to multiple doctors. But regardless, if you are a type B personality and you are somebody that struggles with advocating for yourself, if you are somebody that struggles with, you made a really valid point, which we're going to get into in a second. We're going to give you 3 of Christa's tips and tricks to start this journey if this is where you are and this resonates with you. And it's that starting point. It's you becoming a starting point for somebody and helping them get through that haze and maze of finding their way, which is terrific.
It's true. I think there's power within women, obviously, and when we come together, it's just this force. Mm-hmm. But I think when you're vulnerable and you can share, none of us are perfect. None of us are getting out of this alive anyways. We all got cellulite. We got stretch marks. Like, let's just get over it. Well, you are awesome. And I am super jealous.
Yeah, don't be.
But it's true. It's like, once we become vulnerable and we're willing to, come out and say straight up, like, this stuff sucked. This is where it was at, and this is where I'm going. I think it helps other people. It empowers them to do their own journey and get through their own journey.
Yeah, or know that at least they're not alone and they can take that first step. And I'm just going to, I didn't earmark anything, but I'm just going to pull up your chapter in the book here. So the book that we're talking about is I'm 30 Now What? And it's a collaborative publishing effort spearheaded by Kylie Hansen. And it looks like there's like 10 or 11 different women that have offered their stories within this. And I've read a couple of them. I have not read all of them yet. But this is where I'm going to admit my foible here. I know. Now I'm into the reading glasses, which is just so awesome.
They're super cute. I'm just going to say that. They are cute. So you win.
Yay! So here we go. I'm going to read this little part. So Christa references the difficulties that can happen after birth. And having said that, so we're referencing birth so that we're connecting with moms and things like that. There can be a number of catalysts that put you in a situation where you need to reclaim your identity and you need to start a journey of some kind. This just happens to be the one that we're referencing here. But this talks about the medical issues that can come into play when you are trying to manage your weight, when you're trying to get your health back. I've had to go through this for the past 5 years. So as a personal share, kept having weight creep on, could not figure out what the heck was going on, went to my GP and he's like, just stop eating so much. Like, thank you, Einstein.
Wow, that's awesome. Gosh.
I have 13 years in healthcare. You know, I'm not ignorant to the whole, metabolic issue and the whole in and out calorie situation. And it took finally finding a naturopath who said to me, have you ever heard of the methylation process? I knew there was some kind of enzymatic imbalance. I knew there was something going on with my digestion. And she figured out that I had a B6 deficiency, a clinical B6 deficiency that was affecting my body's ability to properly metabolize fats. And when your body doesn't produce enough protease and amylase and lipase, which are the enzymes required to digest proteins and fats properly, your body goes into a semi-starvation mode and starts giving you belly fat. Which is
because we got to hold on to that because we don't know when we're going to eat again.
Yeah, and on top of 2 C-sections, I have to tell you things aren't pretty down there because that's what happens. But it was that going through that medical process of being made to feel like an idiot and being made to feel like there was nothing that could be done, exercising, nothing moving, changing my diet, nothing moving. And so what Christa says here, she says, as we all know, this exciting, beautiful time moves at such a grueling, slow pace, and you start thinking you've officially lost your mind. Thank you, Pinterest and WebMD, for ensuring my suspicions lied somewhere between cancer, thyroid issues, personality disorders, and postpartum depression. I did laugh out loud when I read that. I began experimenting with at-home remedies for, honey, you are straight up losing your shit. The vitamins, the oils, the awful concoctions you drink in the morning. And finally, I just decided to get my ass to the doctor. My periods were all over the place. Here, try this IUD to help your hormones get regulated. Gain back 30 pounds and no period. Can't lose that weight? That's okay. Here's a prescribed pill for that. Don't worry, the side effects are only suicidal thoughts and sleep issues, nothing terribly catastrophic. Come to think of it, you might have postpartum depression. We should set you up to see a psychologist. And this is what you were referencing before. Mm-hmm. And this is what I love. At that moment, in that cold, awful room, I sat there straight-faced on that hard table lined with noisy wrapping paper and calmly replied, I think you might be right. However, are you able to watch my 4 kids so I can go and discuss my feelings with someone for an hour or two? My doctor was not impressed with my sarcastic response, but it was the truth of where I felt I was, alone in my struggle. And I think that's such a truth for a lot of people who are dealing with enough, and then to have this dismissal by who you deem your medical professional who's supposed to be helping you just compounds that. And that then also leads to people dipping into people who put themselves out there as professionals, but who are not, and put you in a potentially dangerous situation where they want you in a state of ketosis, which is where your body is so deprived of carbohydrates that it cannibalizes your fat, which in theory, woohoo, in practicality, if you take it too far, it'll start cannibalizing your heart. It'll start cannibalizing your kidneys. It'll take any muscle possible in order to meet your nutritional needs. And this is where somebody like Christa, who has invested a lot of time and effort to become certified, to make sure that she's offering the education and the experience necessary to help you successfully and realistically and logically on your journey, is so important. And that's a huge distinction. And this industry of practitioners, in Canada anyway, is still relatively widely unregulated. And it is up to people who need to be their own advocate and do the research on the professionals that you're looking at. And I believe me when I say I am fully sympathetic with the level of desperation that you can get to that leads you to thinking that taking fat pills and all of those things is the only solution. And yes, in some cases that's true. But if you do that and you don't have somebody who's looking out for you, and you don't have somebody with a knowledge and experience to guide you properly, you can do yourself a lot of damage. And this is where doing the research for yourself, aside from your MD, I mean, if your MD is telling you that all you need to do is eat less and that's not working,
time to find a new MD.
time to find a new MD, but also time to, find somebody like Christa to support you, but do your research and find somebody like her who has the certifications that you need to have on your side. Because learning all this information, daunting and can prevent you from starting. Getting in touch with a professional, priceless. True story. So we're going to hop in. We're going to wrap up in a couple of minutes. And one of the things that we talked about beforehand was 3 things that, somebody has listened to this, they've identified with the stories, they're trying to get jump started and have sat on that cold, hard table and now know that they have some control in the situation. So one of the things we talked about as an actionable item was journaling, which I've done and love to death. I use a passion planner for my business, which is amazing. But when I was tracking what I was eating, I just used a basic notebook: breakfast, lunch, dinner. That's all. Honestly, that's all you need to do. You don't even need to know the calories initially, because journaling, little eye opener. Tell me why it's an eye opener, Christa.
Well, I like to do journaling, not only with your nutrition, because there's so many habits that we have in place. And I explain this as far as driving your car. You're getting ready to go to work for the day, right? How many steps do you automatically take just putting your car in, getting to your car, putting it in gear and putting it on the road? There's these habits that are just ingrained. You don't think about them, you just do them. And it's the same thing with your nutrition, is a lot of times we have habits ingrained around our nutrition. I mean, we have birthday parties that we celebrate with food. We have weddings and
cupcakes,
right? It's there. It's all there. And so, obviously journaling your nutrition is very important because it'll start to show you those habitual practices. And I usually take it a little bit further and, as I progress with my clients, as far as what are you doing when you're eating? When you sit down at 8:00 at night, are you watching TV and eating, or are you actually focused on what you're eating to know that you are full and everything else? So a nutrition journal is fantastic because it'll show you those habits and those, and you can even track it with your hormones as well. And that'll kind of show you what those look like, okay, for this week, I'm not eating, I'm not hungry, I don't know why. And then next week, oh my gosh, give me a cheeseburger, right?
I'm dead on a bun, give it to me now, or I'm going to eat you.
Exactly. And so it's really interesting because you can start to see where those habits lie, so you can set yourself up for success that way. I also do journaling with my clients where I've put together journal prompts that help you work through the mindset shift as far as not necessarily losing the weight, losing the weight, but learning to love yourself along that process, why you're doing this process. Because so often we commit to these, all-in programs and we self-destruct. Well, why? We need to start working with what's going on up here. What is this inner mean girl saying to you? And how do we work with that and retrain your internal dialogue?
We all have a Regina George.
We do. Absolutely. And oh, good. It's not Wednesday because I'm not wearing pink, but oh gosh, what day is it?
I can tell what the weather is. It's sunny.
Sunny out.
If you haven't watched Mean Girls, that made no sense to you,
but now you need to.
I still love watching that movie.
It's a good movie, and it is. It's true. We do. We all have that internal mean girl. So not only are you going to journal, just what you're eating and how you're feeling when you're eating, what you're doing when you're eating, but also the emotional pieces of it. You have to work through that because those habits have been there, and that conversation that you've been having in your head has been there for a very long time, and you have to work through that. Otherwise, you will never have success in this journey.
100%. One of the things that we've mentioned, we've been bashing doctors a little bit, and I know the U.S. healthcare system and the Canadian healthcare system are about as far apart as you can get. And the advantage of the Canadian healthcare system is that there's no barrier to entry for us to go to a physician to then get recommended to a dietitian, a registered dietitian, or what have you. We're very fortunate that our system is set up that It might take a little bit to get there, but up front, there's no cost to that. And in the US, that's a bit of a different story, where you have to go through your HMO or your insurance company and, might get approved, might not. So, but you made a really important recommendation, which I love, which is going and talking to your doctor. If you haven't been in a while, go and talk to your doctor and talk to them about what tests could be going on or something. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, absolutely, because I am a professional in my industry. I am not a physician. I cannot order blood work. And here's the thing, as a woman, we have hormones and they suck. Right? And they're always changing and they make you feel like a crazy
Every
person.
7 years, people, full shift.
Or it's like that day, you ate clean, you went to the gym, and then you get on the scale, and you're like, I lost 2 pounds. And then you get on there and it's like, you gained 5. And you're like, what happened?
WTF shows up.
Right? That's when you're like, where's the ice cream? Where's whatever? Because that didn't work. And again, it's a hormone thing. So I absolutely, if you are struggling, even if you're not struggling, go get that blood work done. The baseline, because what's interesting too is my baseline is not necessarily the normal baseline. My baseline is my baseline. So having that done regularly will set you up to know what your normal numbers are going to look like as well. 100%. So I absolutely, and again, like my doctor, just take these pills, and I think you have postpartum depression, but you might want to kill yourself on these pills, but have fun. Again, you might want to try different doctors as well. Like you had that experience, we're going to get additional opinions, because not everybody, that first opinion might not exactly be the right opinion for you.
Yeah. And for those of you that are not in the medical field, what a baseline is you go in and they do a full CBC panel. So that's your hemoglobin, that's your potassium, that's your sodium, that's your cholesterol levels, and what have you. To establish a baseline, typically you need to have it done 3 different times, because there are going to be a variety of influences when you get your blood work done. It's establishing that will help you track over the coming time, however long a time, whatever your goal weight is or whatever your health goal is, will also help your physician identify if there's something going on at certain times of the month, if there's something if there's all of a sudden a huge shift, and your creatinine, for an example, skyrockets, well, that indicates some kind of kidney issue going on. If your cholesterol, there's LDL and HDL, and I, for the life of me, can't remember which is good and which is bad, but both of them are beneficial to you physically. And if one or the other is completely out of whack, that can indicate something else. And maybe your struggle to eat less and move more is scientifically based versus just, Regina George yapping in your ear. Yes. The last one that you said is something that I think the vast majority of women struggle with to do on a regular basis. And it was making yourself a priority. And initially when you said that, my gut reaction was, okay, but explain how. Because just telling somebody to make themselves a priority, right? Regina George pops up and she's like, you're not worth it. And you need to be taking care of your kids and you suck already. So how do we quiet her down?
Right. And you made a good point too, because it's like somebody tells you, okay, you need to make yourself a priority. And you're like, thumbs up. That sounds great. Did you see all that other stuff on my to-do list?
Yeah. My list is big.
Right. And that's the truth of it. And I think as women, especially because we tend to be that caretaker, we are the first one that we remove from that list. It's, it's just how we are as women. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, well, I'll just do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow happens. And it's, well, maybe next Monday, right? We always start on a Monday.
I don't understand.
I don't know either. Every day is a good day, I think. I don't know. But that's exactly how our society is built, and that's how women are built. And so you were right on when you were like, okay, that's good. But and so what I have found that works really well for my clients, through what I do, my personal training business is all online. So actually they have an app. So when they check in for their workout, I know, because the accountability piece is what you need to have. we will take ourselves off of our calendar without a doubt. You write gym in there, and then all of a sudden, your kid forgot their lunch at home. You got to run that over, and then it's all done. So if you have somebody that you can hold yourself accountable to, that's the key. And that, and that could even be calling your Zumba instructor and saying, I will be there at 5 p.m. because you've made that commitment to somebody else. You are less likely to cancel on them, whereas we will cancel on ourselves all day, every day. And even if it means getting up an extra 10 minutes early in the morning, if that's something feasible, or staying up 10 minutes late, whatever works for you, you can still take those 10 minutes and even do something there for your health.
Yeah, 100%. And it was interesting because I just had a thought and it's just gone out of my head. Dang it.
It was a good
that's
thought.
what it was. No, it's back. So my daughter took personal training. She's 18, but she did what's called a schism, where she took a 6-month secondment from her high school and went and got her CanFit Pro personal trainer certification and what have you. And so for a little while, she was my trainer. And my daughter and I are a lot alike. It didn't go well. But the one thing it did give me was I would write in my book every time I went to the gym what the workout was and what have you. Now, in my head, time passes a little differently than it does on paper. And my time machine is a little less effective than I would like to believe. And I would think, well, it's only been a couple of days since I've been to the gym. And then I would open my book and go, ooh, a couple of days times 3 or 4. and that was a huge reality check. And it was very effective. Once my bronchitis is over, then I'll be getting back to the gym. But that journaling, one, it's terrific for also identifying any gastric issues you might not realize you have. If you eat a meal, for an example, you end up feeling bloated or gross or something like that, you may forget that that's how that meal makes you feel. And the advantage of keeping this journal, part of food diary, is that you can track when those things happen. And you can identify food issues that might be holding you back. Making yourself a priority. One of the coolest things, I did a passion planner last year for my business. And if anybody listening runs their own business, you'll know that remembering your successes and remembering your progress and all of that can become challenging, because once again, your time machine can be a little funky. And January, I sat down and went back through my passion planner and I was like, damn, I did a lot. I was like, good for me. And it's that level of encouragement that you give to yourself. And even, you read the crappy days where you did down a pie with a ice cream chaser. I don't recommend doing that. I've actually never done that. I should probably try it and then I'll know how it feels.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to do that one.
Vegas wasn't on my bucket list either, but look how that
there you go.
Actually, that's probably a good analogy right there. Pie with an ice cream chaser is like visiting Vegas.
There you go. No.
But it really does provide a level of perception that you wouldn't otherwise have. It makes a huge difference. It's scientific. It actually is scientifically proven to be one of the most effective ways to achieve a health goal or any type of goal. So, and your health should be your priority. It shouldn't be here on your list. It should be like numero uno, because like they tell you on a plane, you put your oxygen mask on first.
Yes.
If you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not watching your health, take a look at your parents. So if you're, I'm 47, my mom's 77, bless her heart, love her to death, but her health is in the crapper. Because she never made herself and her health really a priority, and was engaging in, smoking and whatever that has now got consequences. So if you need some inspiration and you have a sick parent, I'm with you in solidarity on that, but take a look. That needs to be, find your inspiration where you can.
That's very true.
Tell you, those darn parents, kids, they're all sucking our brains out. So we're going to wrap up in just a second. We've actually gone a little over time, but this has been extremely interesting. So that's been very cool. If you want to learn more about what Christa's up to and what she can do for you, you can visit her website. And I'm looking away because I'm going to read all the interesting places you can find her. So there's bodypositivepersonaltraining.com, and she provides information there and some freebie tips for journaling. And you have a journaling format, I think.
Absolutely. Yep.
And then she is a self-confessed Instagramaholic. So you can visit her there on Body Positive Personal Training and find the neat things that she shares there. There's food tips, there's exercise tips, there's all kinds of interesting stuff, which is very cool. And you're active on Facebook, Body Positive Personal Training as well. And I find women who are on this kind of journey, typically the Facebook is the best place to go because you can comment right away, you can learn from it right away, and it works really well. And then we're going to work with Christa on her Twitter profile. And learning to love it.
I'm not a tweeter.
I'm not a tweeter. I love it. But Body Positive CPT is where you can find Christa on Twitter, and we're going to get her on the tweeting train.
The tweet train.
And so in addition to I'm 30 Now What, Christa's also being profiled with Influence Magazine on a 100 influence list, and that's going to be coming out soon, which is really exciting. So you can check out influencemagazines.com and you'll be able to see her profile and her story and all that great stuff on there soon. And that's going to be in the next week or so.
From what I understand, yeah, absolutely.
So today's March 20th. So if it's beyond that, go and check it out and you'll be able to see her stuff, or it's going to be on your website as well.
Yes, I will put a link on my website as well.
You can read all about her and learn and get inspired.
So exciting.
So we're just going to wrap up. So any final parting words?
Thank you. Thank you so much for the time. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you this morning. So thank you. Oh my gosh.
Super fun. We were trading. I had my first experience in Vegas. And as I mentioned, Christa's coming to us from Reno, Nevada, which I've just learned is 8 hours north of Vegas, you said?
Yes.
Yes. And a completely different world. And if you've gone to Vegas and had a positive experience.
Bless you.
Good. My husband and I enjoyed, I was there 11 days. So if that doesn't tell you anything, with those of you who've been to Vegas are going, ooh, because that's what most people did. It was definitely a very eye-opening experience. But the cool thing is, and one of the major goals of this podcast is to let you know that wherever you are in the world, doesn't matter where you are. There is somebody who understands. There is somebody who has gone through and is going through what you've gone through. And there are people out there. Thank God for technology. Like Christa mentioned, her business is online. You can get that help. You can do it from the comfort of your home. When you're ready, you can step out and share your story and do whatever you need to do. The first step is up to you. The first step is you connecting with somebody who can help you, somebody like Christa who is trained, somebody like Christa who's been there, and getting that professional support. We all need it now and again. Everybody needs help.
It's true. We all do.
Yeah. Some days more than others.
Yes.
Yeah. Like messing up time zones. Today was Monday.
It's all, we're all here. It's good.
It's all good. Thank you so much for joining me, Christa Pepper.
Thank you.
Pleasure talking to you. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you've joined us by podcast, this is Across the Desk with Elizabeth Plouffe and MCV Communications. If you're watching us on YouTube, hi. And, same address, same phone number, same everything. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much, everybody. You can say bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for listening to Across the Desk. You can follow me on Twitter at MCVComms, Instagram at MCV Communications, or visit mcvcommunications.ca to see where else I'm hiding out.